week on the road against the 23rd ranked Mountaineers. And gameplay is underway here from Orlando as the ladies decked out in cardinal and gold. Here the first possession of the contest. There's the other freshman I mentioned, Addie Brown. She has been a force here in her first year. As the dump down and the block, Nagodu is trying to find Crooks, and now UCF will look to turn defense into offense.
A nice job of recovering right there from Kayala. Usually, Audie Crooks able to go up and finish those sort of plays inside.
Robinson Nwagu gets her 5th consecutive start. She'll kick over the left wing, in and out for Jewett. Offensive rebound, Nagodu. And she'll hand it off. Burns gets into the paint. Misfire on the first attempt. Second one won't drop. And it's going to stay here with the ladies armored in white.
It's really important for UCF to get off to a fast start. And fell down 18-4 in that first quarter on the road against West Virginia.
And talking to Coach Satia Messer here just a couple days ago, that was one of those games, BJ, that you quickly want to put to the wayside. She said that her and her staff didn't even want to go back and look at any of the game tape as Nagodu flexing and getting the first points of the game.
Yeah. And sometimes when you play a game like they did on the road where it got out of hand so early, there are things you can take away from it, but the biggest thing is you have to move on to the next one.
Here's a triple launched and a triple made by Hannah Bellinger, the senior in her first season here for Iowa State. Big-time sharpshooter. She has scored over 2,000 points in her collegiate career.
Yeah, Bellinger shooting 42% from the three-point line in conference play on nearly 6 attempts a game. Knights have to have awareness on Bellinger.
Jewett misfires and Nagodu can't save it. And Bellinger, for Coach Bill Fenley, a Division II All-American, as this is year number 29.
Man.
For Coach Fenley, who would go over 600 wins.
That's surreal, you know.
At Iowa State. Meanwhile, Satia Messer, year number 2 here in Orlando. As the pass is going to get knocked down, Robinson Nwagu. She'll throw up ahead, transition. Peterson, the league's top scorer. Iowa State does a good job, however, getting back defensively.
It's crazy to think that Coach Bill Fenley's been coaching at Iowa State longer than I've been alive.
1995 was year number 1 in Ames, as Jewett can't get it to fall. Look what I found, however, says Nagodu. Offensive rebound putback, and she's got all 4 of UCF's points.
And it's amazing to see her confidence continue to grow game by game. Kayla Nagodu, a player that did not get a lot of time in the non-conference, but has picked it up here in conference play.
5.5 points, 5 rebounds for the lady from Fort Lauderdale, the freshman Nagodu. Double team comes throwing out. That was Caitlin Peterson. And now a quick reset, says head coach Satia Messer. So Knights just 1 in 8 in Big 12 play. Been solid at home. You're 7-4 on the year. Jewett, she'll step into a 3, open look, front iron.
It's still a good offensive possession right there from the Knights. Caitlin Peterson's going to get a lot of attention. Layla Jewett has to be ready to take her looks.
3-ball launch by Jackson. UCF will clear it. As the Hilton Coliseum was rocking last time out, Maya Burns going to work, and an offensive foul, wave off the bucket.
And a nice job right here. You see Maya Burns goes with that rip through of Emily Ryan, squaring her body up to Burns, forcing that offensive foul.
Mentioned the Hilton Coliseum. It was a show the other night on Wednesday as Iowa State Cyclones snapped the 3-game losing streak. They would prevail over Oklahoma State 78-67. Season sweep of the Cowgirls. Down into Crooks. Crooks, the easy punch up there off the 10.
And you notice the patience right there when Crooks received that basketball. First time Kayla Nagodu was able to come through and block her shot. That time, throws a nice ball fake, pump fake, and able to finish a much cleaner shot.
Here's the freshman Akot, gives down to Robinson Nwagu, too strong. Crooks keeps it high. Now the outlet. You're on the run. Emily Ryan, one of the best in the business in the Big 12 with the orange. Throws to the corner, triple is lifted, and that is the second one for Hannah Bellinger here on the game. And one of the top three-point shooting teams, not just in the Big 12, BJ, but in all of college basketball.
Yeah, well, when Iowa State isn't going inside the Crooks, that's what you're going to see. Emily Ryan creating for her teammates, Hannah Bellinger ready to spot up and take and make her three-point looks.
Shot clock now at 10 here for the Knights. Robinson Nuagu, double team comes out to Akot. And shot fired, Jewett, does she beat the clock? You betcha, as buckets for Layla Jewett. There's the equalizer, and UCF now, here's the deficit 1.
And Layla Jewett, a player that shot the ball really well for the Knights behind the three-point line in non-conference, fell a little bit as Emily Ryan's able to come off the ball screen and finish at the rim, but Layla Jewett, a player that shot the ball over 60% from the three-point line. Scott?
Emily Ryan freed herself up. BJ nearly had a triple-double last game out. She had 14 assists on the game. She missed a bunch of games to begin the season. Coach Fenley talked to him prior to the game. They're extremely pleased that she's back in the lineup.
Absolutely. And, you know, to be one of the seniors leading a lot of these freshmen, can't put a price on having that senior leadership on your team.
The triple by Ryan, not there. Robinson Nuagu. Now the push here for the Knights. As Robinson Nuagu came off the bench primarily to begin the season, has now been into the starting lineup along with Ngodu. Here's Jewett off the mark. Tracking it down, that's Emily Ryan. And we've played 6 minutes of basketball here from Orlando. Here's a three, Ariana Jackson. And now the rebound, Jewett. UCF pushing up ahead. Robinson Nuagu down in the paint, crafty move. And then hits it up off the window. The score for the grad student from Norcross, Georgia.
Yeah, Robinson Nuagu right there with a little trickery. Gets to the rim, throws that ball fake, able to come back and finish. Another player that's had an enhanced role for the Knights in her most recent games.
Going to work, here's Bellinger. Bellinger cut off. Shot clock at 5. Short corner jumper, that'll trickle off. And now Layla Jewett says, let's reset things. We're gonna get a cast of new characters onto the floor next time out. Is waiting by, and there's our stoppage in play, a whistle against UCF, foul on Robinson Nuagu. 7 minutes in, we'll step aside, come back here on this Saturday afternoon. Some of the youth to come out and getting their, maybe sometimes their first taste and flavor of college basketball.
No question. And they get some high-level basketball seeing these two Big 12 foes go at it.
Iowa State here looking for points on a drought right now, 2+ minutes, triple lifted, and that's an air ball. That from the hands of Addie Brown. Now UCF will look to go ahead and take the lead as UCF 4 of 13 from the floor. Iowa State 4 of 10. Robinson Nuagu, the step back off the dribble, heel of the iron. Loose ball on the deck, and it's going to come out to guess who? Robinson Nuagu, thank you very much.
And that's what's keeping the Knights in the game right now. A 10-5 advantage on the boards. Surprisingly, Iowa State known as the better rebounding team.
Yeah, one of the top defensive rebounding teams in the nation, thievery. And now Emily Ryan on the run. Ryan sashaying the step through, going to draw the foul as Sierra Godbolt, who's recently checked in. Backup point guard for Satia Messer. You see Jayla Kelly as well.
See right here as Robinson Nuagu attacks the quick hands from Emily Ryan. And I like the little Euro step she goes through right there, forcing the foul on the reach in from Sierra Godbolt.
All Big 12 preseason select Emily Ryan. She is top 10 right now at Iowa State all time in assists as well as steals. We just saw that firsthand. And she has played a lot of basketball for head coach Bill Fenley.
it's
and one of
great
the
when you
calming
have-
influences as well.
For sure. It's great when you have that relationship between a point guard and a coach. Coach Finley knows he doesn't have to coach Emily Ryan through every scenario on the floor. Has a lot of trust in her judgment out there as a player.
The January 6th at BYU, in which Coach Bill Fenley would get his 600th win. Quite the achievement, as he's all-time winningest coach for the Iowa State Cyclones. So here's Peterson, still looking for her first points of the game. Came in averaging 21. That's tops in the Big 12. And now the shot clock shows single digits. Burns frees herself up. Burns from the foul line. Good look. Can't get it to drop. Offensive rebound, Kelly. Knights will reset the shot clock, but give it up. And now a tie-up, and it'll stay here with UCF.
And right now, Iowa State has to close out possessions, their defensive possessions, with a rebound, allowing the Knights to get too many second opportunities at the rim.
Well, for UCF, BJ, you got to like the way that you've started here in this first quarter after what transpired up in Morgantown on Tuesday. And an offensive foul, Caitlin Peterson, that off arm, extending it out.
Yeah, as Caitlin Peterson comes off this ball screen, gonna see that off arm just shove Ariana Jackson. It's a good call, but you also saw right there Kelsey Jones in that gap. They're gonna show a lot of bodies. They're gonna have 10 eyes on Caitlin Peterson at all time today.
And we asked Coach Fenley exactly how do you slow down Caitlin Peterson?
Yeah, they kind of said you don't. You know, she's gonna have the ball in her hands a lot. She's gonna be very aggressive, as we see right here. So you can't stop her when she's gonna make a play like that, right? But you want to limit her as much as you can.
Rim to rim, she is a blur. After the Addie Brown miss, you see how quickly that she can get up the floor. Had just 13 points in the loss against West Virginia. Scored all 13 of those in the second half.
Yeah.
And is 13th in the nation currently in scoring. This is her first year for head coach Satia Messer. She was a mid-year last year, did not play for the Knights. And has had 4 games this year, BJ, in which she has scored 30-plus points. She can fill it up.
That's unbelievable. That is unbelievable. And that's why she is the leading scorer in the Big 12 Conference. You know, what's most impressive is how she's got it done in a variety of ways. Sometimes it's the three-point shot. She'll make 6 or 7 threes in a game, and then other nights she gets to the free throw line 10-plus times. So she just gets it done in all kinds of ways.
Jayla Kelly pushing the pass away, and then the floater in the lane. It's going to be too short, but last touched here by a Cyclone. As Jayla Kelly was able to front Crooks down. They were trying to feed in to Crooks. Crooks just 2 points here on the afternoon thus far. The early tip time here at noon. This is 11 o'clock for the Cyclones. As from what we found out, unseasonably warm temperatures for February in Ames currently today. A large contingent of Cyclones have made their way here to Orlando for this one. Here's a 3-ball, Burns. Heel of the iron, out it comes now to Emily Ryan. There's about a second differential on the shot and game clock as Ryan looks back to Coach Fenley. Game clock now at 13, and picking the pocket, here comes Peterson as Peterson all the way down to the other end, defense to offense. And now Ryan, the shot fired, and it's going to be way short, contested by God.
You guys.
Yeah, Kayala really starting to thrive here for Satia Messer, especially during conference play. Confidence is currently through the roof, and getting some words of wisdom from one of the top scorers in the league in Peterson. And the whistle going to be against Kelly, trying to lunge and knock down that pass down to Crooks.
And a nice job of Iowa State coming out, making a concerted effort to find Crooks inside. Not enough touches for her there in the first half, as we're going to have an offensive foul against Crooks. Moving ball screen, it looked like.
And we'll go the opposite direction here, as Crooks has really not been a factor thus far on the game. And now UCF will look to push that lead out. BJ, after taking a look at the first 10 minutes of basketball and Trying to know what both these teams were wanting to do, maybe some evaluation now that both these coaching staffs have.
Yeah, well, the first thing is that the Knights need to remain patient as another travel from Ashal Akat. Only her first of the day, but I say another because sometimes she does that throughout the season. We've seen her shuffle the feet, but for the Knights, patient offense. Iowa State is not going to press. They're going to play quarter court defense, so they need to be patient, and they have got to make sure that they get off to a good start as they did there in the first quarter.
Do with the basketball. Double team on Crooks comes, and a whistle on the floor before the shot attempt as Kelly and Maya Burns were down there to greet her. This looks like she might have got scraped across the neck. There's Audie Crooks.
And you'll see as Audie Crooks receives the basketball against Jayla Kelly. Couldn't really tell from that angle, but there seems to be a scratch on the neck.
Kelly's going to come off the floor. Back into the game comes Kayala Ngodu for UCF. A minute here into this second quarter. Matchup between two teams that have never faced each other. And the deuce in the corner jumps off, but getting the offensive rebound is Naimir Dew, the senior from Marshall, Minnesota. Or is it? No. It's going to be UCF basketball here.
Yeah, off the jump ball between Naimir Dew and Ashal Akat. Looked like Naimir Dew came up with that basketball pretty clean, though, at first glance. You know, sometimes officiating crews are too quick to call a jump ball.
I'd like to see him work a little bit and try to get possession.
A nice tie-up, not just
henceforth.
Both players have their hand on the ball.
Yes, henceforth. Ngodu, the turnaround. Offensive rebound, Ashal Akat. And now into the corner, Maya Burns triple. And a second chance momentarily stepping out is Ngodu.
And a couple good looks right there for UCF as Addie Brown checks back into this ball game for Jalen Bristow. But right now, the Cyclones having a lot of trouble finishing defensive possessions with a rebound. You know, Coach Finley is really pleading with his group to give a little more attention to the defensive glass.
Yeah, you take a look at those rebounding numbers. Here's a triple launch. This is from Addie Brown from downtown. Bang! And is fifth in the nation, BJ, in field goal percentage.
Outstanding, outstanding. The freshman from Derby, Kansas, arguably the best all-around player for the Cyclones. Former McDonald's All-American.
Gatorade Player of the Year in the Sunflower State. Peterson. How about Peterson as falling backwards, gets some separation, levitates, and sinks it home.
And that's just a really good shot to come off that handoff and be able to get on balance and shoot that mid-range jump shot. Shows why she's such a talented scorer.
6 points now here for Peterson. The quick skip, the three, Jackson. And an offensive rebound as the push in the back by Addie Brown.
Yeah. You see right here, as Caleb Peterson comes off the ball screen, there's two Cyclones in her vicinity, but it does not matter. She's able to get on balance and knock down the mid-range jumper.
And it's one thing, BJ, she can get an inch. That was more than an inch, and she's going to pull that trigger. And her release point, too, BJ, is so quick.
Yeah, it doesn't take a lot of time for her to get her shot off. She's truly a three-level scorer.
Here's the run out as misfiring is due, however, after the Crooks rebound.
Yeah, great kick-ahead pass. Dew just unable to convert.
Potential points left on the board. Knotted up here from Orlando. It's trying the high-low, and that was easily knocked down as three Cyclones in the vicinity.
Yeah, you know, it's hard to high-low when you throw the ball low to the bigger person. You got to throw the ball up high, and Taylor Gibson knows that. Just poor execution on the pass.
Bellinger weaving through that Knight defense, but unable to get the lay-in. And quickly, UCF now here up into the half court is now sophomore Sierra Godbolt at the controls for Satia Messer. Where last week it was the annual space game for the Knights. A victory over Cincinnati. Godbolt's triple, no. That's something here at UCF in Orlando amongst the football team that started it all, which they are undefeated wearing space game uniforms. continues on here for this UCF women's basketball program.
So at what point does the football team make their space game uniforms like their every game uniform?
Well, based on the winning percentage, you think they'd wear them 12 games a year.
At some point, you know.
But then it's not as special, you know, BJ?
But yeah, but you know, nothing's more special than winning every game. So.
Touche to that. Touche to that. It's well said.
Yeah.
There's a double dip of basketball here today from Orlando as Johnny Dawkins guys. UCF's been holding their own in their first year in the Big 12 on the men's side. They'll get a top 25 opponent and the Oklahoma Sooners who come a-calling. BJ Taylor will be on hand for that, calling that game.
Oklahoma Sooners been the AP top 25 for the majority of the season.
Again, life in the Big 12. Taylor Gibson, the 85.5% free throw shooter. 10 seasons of at least 25 wins for Bill Fenley at Iowa State. Rebound comes down to Bristow, who's recently checked in. One of those handful of freshmen here for Iowa State who would knock off Texas in the Big 12 title game last year, get into the NCAA tournament. The feed inside. And Nobu has this one jump off, but basketball will stay with the Cyclones.
Yeah, and right now, Ismail Natabu unable to convert right there for the Cyclones, but this entire Cyclones offense has been more stagnant than they've been the majority of the season as Bristow right there able to get 2 feet in the paint and finish inside. That's what the Cyclones need to do. Find ways to get better looks on the offensive end, only shooting 29% from the field right now. It's very uncharacteristic of Coach Finley's team.
Freshman from Holiday, Texas with her first score. 7 lead changes already here through the first 15 minutes of hoops. And now shot clock at 7, trying to create as Peterson gives to Ware, who's recently checked in, off the mark. Knights 1 of 7 from downtown. Robinson Nwagu steps out in the short corner and is able to hit.
And once again, that all starts with the second chance look for the Knights. Now their 10th offensive rebound of the game. 10 in the first half.
That will keep anybody in a basketball game. The 3, that was Bellinger. Now a 2-on-2. The Cyclones able to get back, however, defensively on the trail. Nagodu, one dribble, the pull-up, swirls in and out. And Tobu with a rebound. And now under 5 minutes to play in this opening half. Oh, the great fake, and the 3, however, is off by Bellinger. Cyclones 3 of 10 from downtown. Keep in mind, come in as one of the top 3-point shooting teams in the nation. Didn't really start to catch a flame last game out until that second half.
Yeah.
It was a 4-point game at halftime in the victory over Oklahoma State. And they're in that tail end of the third quarter. It would be a 10-0 run for the Cyclones, and they would pull away. And off of Robinson Nwagu out of bounds. And here at this 3:52 mark, we've got nearly even basketball. Back and forth we go in the Big 12 here on this Saturday afternoon.
Other ones are. Back up to you guys.
Hey, you can't show your hand, BJ, right?
No.
Good poker man right there.
Exactly.
But another reason why it's such an important game, because Iowa State's going to have the bye week. They'll have just 1 game next week. They'll play on Saturday back here against Oklahoma next Saturday, as there we saw Adi Crooks.
Yeah. Matched up against Taylor Gibson inside, and just too much for Taylor Gibson to deal with one-on-one.
Now 4 points here for one of the top freshmen in the country. Quick pass inside, Akkad. Might have gotten away with a travel, and then she'll get tied up, but will travel with the orange prior to. There is Adi Crooks.
This is Charlotte right there, trying to make a play inside. But as she receives this basketball, you're going to see it's really nothing there for her. Just got to get up off it. You know, as a freshman, conference play's been tougher on her. Got to stay patient and being ready to make plays, but
And the triple.
time shot.
Tickling the nylon there was Ariana Jackson is up and good, and now Iowa State here back-to-back scores. Trying to get a little separation here before the half, going to the locker room feeling good about yourself. Sub 3 minutes here left in quarter number 2. Freeing herself up is Akot and easy pickings. Robinson Nwago to dime. BJ, you gotta like that as a former point guard.
No question, great execution right there from Ashal Akot. Goes up to set the screen, slips out. Robinson Nwago able to find her at the rim.
Ashal Akot, her first score of the game. Crooks on the roll, the spin, the soft touch is up and good for Adi Crooks. Look at her go to work.
So agile once she receives the basketball and nimble, right? When you combine that size with the ability to have the fluidity that she has, that's why she's probably the most imposing force inside in this league.
She's got 4 Big 12 weekly honors on the season. Offensive foul against UCF. That is Kyla Nagodu on the screen. As Crooks has been the player of the week in the league once and the freshman of the week 3 times over. And has come in on a tear entering this game. There's 19 double-figure performances, the career high 29 last time out, and 3 consecutive games of 25-plus points.
Yeah, Crooks will be one of the few freshmen to not only be an all-freshman team performer, but an all-Big 12 conference team performer as Emily Ryan starts to get it going.
And she is just so good with the basketball, the start, the stop. She can lure you in.
She's a smart player. You know, she knows what she wants to do with the basketball. Stays composed at all times. Even when she makes a bad play, you see she's very even-keeled, very level-headed.
3 ball on the way. That's from Jones, offensive board. Bristow, and wave it off. She moved the Nikes.
Yeah.
Shifted ever so slightly.
And as a player, you have to make that adjustment and recognize that this officiating crew is gonna call the travels very tightly, very closely, you know. Sometimes you get officiating crews that don't necessarily call travels by the book, but this crew is.
Nagodu, the power dribble and up off the window. As the muscle from the freshman on freshman, now with 6 points for Kyala Nagodu. And a traveling violation, that is rare, by Emily Ryan.
You see as Kyala receives this basketball, gets that deep post position, and then finishes up and through the contact of Audie Crooks. Not easy to do.
Layla Jewett, the top assist woman here for UCF, coming in, averaging 4. Maya Burns gets it to fall, the forgiving iron.
Yeah. Well, the Knights are doing a good job of screening in on the center player for Iowa State, which happens to be Audie Crooks right now, finding some success in the middle of that zone.
And Crooks and Nagodu battling, and beside herself is Kyala Nagodu. And now Coach Messer's got a decision. 2 fouls here on her freshman. She's going to leave her in with 38 ticks left here in this second stanza. Swirling the top, it's Bellinger. Now the 3 by Jones. She's getting it to go is Kelsey Jones from downtown. And a 2-possession game here for the Cyclones.
That's a really big shot right before the half. If the Cyclones can finish this off with a defensive stop, they'll have a little momentum going into halftime.
And BJ, and if you're UCF trying to cut it here to 1 possession, you'll feel pretty good about yourself.
Absolutely.
As 7 on the game clock, here is Jewett, sashaying right, 3 seconds, Jewett lobs it in. Here is Nagodu as her jumper is gonna fall to the... I mean, they get a magnificent job there defensively against Crooks in that first half. That would be a big blow if she gets into any foul trouble.
Yeah, Kyala has to stay out of foul trouble because the Knights don't really have any other solid size to match up with Crooks inside, and Addie Brown is unable to finish that shot near the rim. Good pass from Emily Ryan.
Addie Brown with just 3 points in that first half, came in averaging 13 and a half. Nagodu going to work, and right in the mug of Addie Brown, the score for the freshman.
Yeah, Kyala has become so good at going up over that left shoulder and finishing at the rim.
Emily Ryan able to navigate her way out of traffic. Here is a three launched from the hands of Bellinger, who would connect on a pair of them in that first half. Knights on the clearance. And here, BJ, as we begin this third quarter, some essentials for both teams.
Yeah, well, if you're Iowa State, you gotta get this game moving a little bit faster. Only 29 points there in the first half. This is a team that averages up over 70, as we see Kyle and Agodu with the travel. So if you're the Cyclones, get this game moving at your pace a little bit more. Get those better looks offensively. And if you're UCF, stay patient on offense. Don't get this game into an up-tempo shootout. That's not the style of basketball that UCF's had their success with throughout the season.
10th turnover of the game for UCF. And in and out for Addie Brown. Offensive rebound. Crooks goes up strong with it and hits it home.
And right there, Crooks able to wedge her way right into the middle of the paint, setting herself up for that offensive rebound. And then what's most impressive is the touch to finish right around the rim.
Now with 8 points, count the bucket. Robinson and Wagu, emphatic.
Yeah. Quite the move right here from Morgan Robinson to Wagu. As you see, she goes through the contact of Emily Ryan and flips the ball up off the top of the glass with some English. Gotta love that if you're Maya Burns and the crew. Gotta love it.
Speaking of that English, I mean, you gotta
flip
that touch, right? And then it's gonna move. It's gonna have the movement on it.
Yeah,
on the reversal.
And the contact she took was from Emily Ryan on her right side, and she finished with her right hand. So really spectacular play right there from Robinson Awagu.
Just a 2-point game in that first half. It would be 9 lead changes. Getting herself freed up and using the body is Emily Ryan, the senior. On the Sunflower State.
Yeah, really nice job of Ryan right there, being aware of the empty side, knowing she could get all the way to the rim, coming to that strong 2-foot jump stop finish.
Caitlin Peterson, the league's top scorer, had 6 in the first half. Now Jewett, she's got an open look. And the volley gets wedged out. Iowa State comes out with the orange. Pushing now up here into the front court. Thought about the three, but now on the deck, Emily Ryan.
But right now, better pace and ball movement from Iowa State on this end of the floor. The ball's not sticking as much. They're being a lot more quick and decisive with their decisions.
Timeout on the floor here for Satia Messer as a 6-point advantage for Bill Fenley's Iowa State Cyclones. Is back to Orlando here on this Big 12 Saturday.
As we're seeing again today, she said, whatever I can do to help us out, Crooks said, I take pride in doing just that. She said specifically, so they start double teaming and triple teaming me. She said, but I'm just happy to contribute in any way that I can, whatever it takes to get a Cyclone win. Back up to you guys.
Coach Bill Fenley talking to us about Crooks as Agodu getting fouled on the entry. Such a coachable young lady. She is thirsting for knowledge, for coaching, and he says it's been an absolute joy to have her on this roster.
Yeah, well, it's really impressive because sometimes when players, especially young players, have the success that she's had early on, you start to feel like, Coach, I got this. You know what I mean? But in her case, speaking with Coach Finley's, like, she's always looking to grow. She's always asking how she can continue to improve her game. She wants to play even more minutes, you know, so she's really going to be a spectacular player for the Cyclones for a very long time.
Top 60 recruit in the country. BJ also a 2-time state champion in pole vaulting. Or not pole vaulting, but the shot put, rather.
Well, she's beating you in the shot put. I'll tell you that right now. Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't question that.
Yeah, she might have me as well. I don't know.
I think both of ours combined could not.
I shot put in the 7th grade, though.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Unofficially.
The things I learned about my partner, BJ Taylor, throughout the course of the year. The foul on the Knights. Addie Brown able to draw the contact. 7th grade, you had to be, what, 12, 13 years old?
Yeah. So I used to go out to the track and shot put with the track team, you know. I just never actually competed in our school meets. So it was unofficial.
This was pre-Boone Braves days. Middle school.
Yeah, this was young me. This was 5'1", short me.
Well, I mean, you're not much taller now.
That's crazy. Well, that's crazy for you to say that.
Maybe I slighted you.
Our audience at home thinks I'm like 5'5" right now.
He's
they
not.
Think he's working with Muggsy Bogues tonight.
He's
actually, guys.
6'1" plus. 6'1" plus. Addie Brown able to capitalize with the free throws. And an offensive foul here against UCF.
Another moving screen right there from Kayala, attempting to get that shot. They like to run that play where Kalen Peterson sprints over to the wing. You see right here, Peterson rolls over to the wing, and just that movement a little bit, it looks like.
That was just a slight shift there.
It wasn't very much. No, I agree.
Because her feet were set.
Yeah. But as we've seen today, this crew, and I'm sure you'd agree, is calling this game, very, very tight.
And as we started there to begin this quarter number 3, emphasizing the 2 fouls on Negodu. Now Crooks remains on the bench, but not a good sign here for UCF. Foul trouble for their starting big. Having a 7-point lead here for Iowa State. And a triple is going to get partially blocked. That was Akot. Bellinger trying to get the look, and now UCF will try to get points off of defense. Maya Burns on a rope. She burns the net. Her first 3 in UCF. It's the great equalizer, BJ, now a 2-possession game.
Yeah, I like UCF being aggressive there in transition, finding Maya Burns. But Jayla Kelly's going to pick up the foul against Isnel Natabu.
And so now both Jayla Kelly and Negodu with 3 fouls. And now Tabu. And now watch as the entry, the trigger woman, Emily Ryan. And it'll get taken away. Burns there with the crafty hands. Now the throw up the floor, Jewett, and unable to hang on to it is Ashala Kott.
Yeah. That seems like it's a good idea from Layla Jewett, but that's one of those plays that's just too tough to execute, right? You're making a run, you're starting to cut back into this ball game. Ashala Kott does have a chance to receive and catch the pass, but it's one of those where you just kind of wish she holds on to it a little longer.
Crooks got that brief respite on the bench here in this third quarter. He's already played 18 minutes. And on the drive, Addie Brown is going to get fouled, and that's going to be number 4 now here against Jayla Kelly. So he just entered the game, and now Coach Satia Messer quickly off her bench. She's going to say, might need to hold on to those fouls for the fourth quarter. Taylor Gibson now checks in. Limited minutes here today for Jayla Kelly, who to begin the season, BJ, would be starting basketball game after basketball game. And Negodu has since 6 consecutive games in a row as began the game.
Yeah, well, just a really smart play from Addie Brown right there. She could have drove and attacked and avoided the contact. Instead, she goes right at the body of Jayla Kelly, drawing the foul.
72.5% free throw shooter, says money in the bank. She is 4 for 4 from the charity stripe, and you see the nonverbal there. That tells it all for Jayla Kelly, frustrated with herself. 6 points for the ladies from Ames, Iowa. A 5-point game at the half. Ball movement here by the Knights. Deflection, Ryan getting it is Gibson. Shot clock, however, at 8. Layla Jewett splitting defenders. Layla Jewett can't get the lay-in to drop. And now quickly, Iowa State the opposite way, teeing up a 3. That's off. That was from Kelsey Jones, and a slight lull here midway through this third quarter.
A little quick right there from Jones in transition.
Maya Burns, a good look, and Maya Burns strikes again. Her second triple of the quarter, and the Knights trail by just 3.
Maya Burns starting to catch fire from the wings here in this second half.
Maya Burns here with 8 points and a traveling violation by Audie Crooks. And that's going to lead us to a timeout on the floor. A very busy Saturday afternoon here inside of this building is following the conclusion of this one. Big 12 basketball On the men's side, as Johnny Dawkins' guys will be hosting Oklahoma and the Sooners. That comes your way at 4 o'clock. Scott Adams, B.J. Taylor back here courtside with you. B.J. Taylor will be on the call for that one. Here's Maya Burns. Does she have another one? You betcha. As her third here of the quarter. And we have tie basketball.
And they've come from a similar spot. Now 2 from that wing. Drive and kick from the Knights, having some success.
Crooks battling with Gibson. Gibson's going to get called for the foul. And she gets everybody in foul trouble.
Yeah.
As UCF, both Kayala Nagodu and Jayla Kelly currently sitting with 2 fouls apiece. Also for our fan bases around the country outside of just UCF. Full disclosure, B.J. Taylor is 6'2", a robust 6'2". Put the Nikes on, it's 6'3". B.J. Taylor, all-conference guard in the American, part of the 2019 NCAA tournament team.
Is this your way of...
and a hometown hero to boot.
Is this your way of making up for saying I'm only 5'2"?
I didn't want to say sorry directly.
Slightly taller than 5'1".
I'm boosting my buddy up here right now as Crooks.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Of course, no doubt. Can't let my man hanging like that. Here's Maya Burns, and man, she can do no wrong here in this third quarter.
I mean, just the confidence is starting to get going for her now. She's got the outside game going. That time, able to use the ability to drive to the rim and just, almost for Emily Ryan right there getting to the rim. But Maya Burns, man.
The start-stop by Emily Ryan.
Yeah.
BJ, Maya Burns here in quarter number 3 alone has 11 points, 13 for the game.
Yeah.
And is the leading scorer overall in the contest.
You know, Maya has the ability to do that. She can really explode at times. It's just not always there for her offensively, but in this third quarter, it most certainly has been her quarter.
And the fouls are starting to mount as Iowa State's going to have double bonus, or bonus rather, for the remainder of this third quarter. Taking care of business is Emily Ryan. The senior able to strike.
Pass.
And Gibson down on the block.
And a nice find from Caitlin Peterson. That time she knows that the Iowa State defense is going to converge on her. Finds Taylor Gibson right near the rim for the easy layup.
UCF 4 of their last 4 from the field. Ariana Jackson back atop. It goes to the
There's a mismatch point guard. Yeah, there's a mismatch inside with Crooks, but Addie Brown says no need on that possession. I'll knock down the triple for us.
First field goal of this second half for Addie Brown. Here's Burns. Finally, she is off the mark. And the rebound is going to come down to Kelsey Jones. Being harassed is Emily Ryan, and not a smart foul by Ashala Kotz, as going back to the foul line will be Ryan here for Iowa State.
Yeah, Coach Messer's pleading for a foul on the rebound against Caitlin Peterson, but once Emily Ryan is able to come out with the basketball, no need for Ashala Kotz to pressure her in the backcourt and reach like that, especially not when you're in a bonus, Scott.
And you got to know time and place.
Yeah, it's too valuable right now at this point in the game to have a silly foul like that.
Iowa State 72% from the free throw line on the season. Emily Ryan hovering around 80%. And she continues to say thank you very much. The freebies are just that. Back out to a 2-possession lead for the Cyclones. A meeting of first ever between these two schools. Now Maya Burns.
Pass.
Down into Akot, the secondary pass in Gibson. Will get bumped by Addie Brown.
Yeah, nice ball movement right there from the Knights as Maya Burns drives the closeout, dumps it off to Ashala Kotz, and then Taylor Gibson able to draw the foul right there on the left block. Good ball movement from Coach Satia Messer's team.
Handful of substitutions here for Bill Fenley. 29 years at Iowa State, began his career at Toledo. He's been a 3-time finalist for the National Coach of the Year and the Big 12 tournament champs last year. Gibson rarely missing from the stripe, just her 3rd misfire on the season. She was 12 of 15 prior to that, 12 of 14 rather, makes amends, gets 1 of 2.
Yeah.
As we round in on the 2-minute mark here left to play in quarter number 3, where the Knights have outscored Iowa State 20-18. Offensive foul, and that's going to get called against Crooks.
Yeah. Right there, the Cyclones looking to run a set to get Crooks the ball right near the basket, but as Taylor Gibson fought over that screen, Crooks just displaced her. Offensive foul.
Crooks picks up number 2 here on the game. And that's the 4th team foul against Iowa State. Peterson, she's been quiet in quarter number 3. Came in as the leading scorer in the Big 12. Jewett bounces it in. Akkad throws it back out. Peterson turns on the Jets. She'll get nudged on the foul, or on the baseline rather. And that'll be the 5th here against Iowa State. So Caitlin Peterson now to the stripe.
That burst of speed that Caleb Peterson has is just a lot to deal with. You know, you think you're there, you think you're in good guarding position, and then she cuts on the Jets and you end up getting a blocking foul.
Drop a gear, disappear.
Drop a gear, disappear. Hit the Jets, nothing left.
Ooh, that was right off the top of the head, huh?
Yeah, man, we should drop an album.
I like that. When do you want to record?
Anything you want.
Oh, you got a game after this.
Okay.
1 of 2 for Caitlin Peterson. Her first point here of the second half. Now with 7. There's under 2 to go. Back and forth. We had a ton of lead changes in that first half. And rimming off. Good look for Hannah Bellinger.
Yeah. And that's just lucky for the Knights. Bellinger's too good of a shooter to leave that open.
Maya Burns, this has been her quarter, and it continues to be just that. Maya Burns, in a word, en fuego. Her 4th 3-pointer here of this 3rd quarter. Trying the 2-woman game, and now the turnaround shot. That's Emily Ryan, and it hangs on the rim, comes off. Out comes Peterson. Knights with the lead. A hot hand to Maya Burns.
The Cyclones got to know where Maya Burns is. You can't keep leaving her wide open.
And a whistle against Iowa State. As Naimir Du into the free throw line here for the Knights, UCF. As holding on to a Shawl Akkad down on that left block. Coach Messer to her bench. Jewett comes off. In comes Sierra Godbolt. And Shawl Akkad, her first free throws here of the contest. Knights 7 of 11 on the day. Akkad, one of the talented freshmen here in the Big 12, the Ottawa, Ontario product. And the lead here is 3 for Satia Messer's ladies, who trying to string back-to-back home victories together and quickly erase that really ugly loss on Tuesday.
Oh, what a move from Emily Ryan. Not able to convert with the left at the rim.
Hanging on the iron, and now Maya Burns.
And now the Cyclones have to make sure they match up with Burns here in the half court. Now, once again, she's open in the corner. Good job of Naimir Du being aware of where she is.
Quick reset here, Sierra Godbolt, shot clock at 8. Godbolt dancing atop. Burns now, 2 seconds. Burns the step through. And there's Crooks to clear it. And now Iowa State can shoot for 1, play for 1. 5 seconds.
Great pass.
Open look, wing. No, that was Ariana Jackson. Yes, however, for Audie Crooks. Offensive rebound putback, and that'll do it for the 3rd quarter of play here from Orlando. as this
that has the ability to get hot like Burns does start to get it going, it's going to be hard to slow her down.
Well, for more on Maya Burns, here's our Maddie May.
Guys, I completely agree with you on how Maya Burns has dominated that third quarter. Maya said that when she was asked about who her playing style and who she sort of looks up to in the WNBA, she said, well, she doesn't really play my position, but Asia Wilson is definitely my favorite player. Maya said that they were both from South Carolina, and so she's been watching her ever since she played in college. Back up to you guys.
Layla Jewett able to strike for UCF to get fourth quarter scoring underway. At her first field goal of this second half. Maya Burns should be noted, this a season high for her. She ties the season high, would have 16 points in the victory over Jackson State. Bombs away, three-pointer Hannah Bellinger.
I like the
Man,
fact,
is she a good shooter.
Yeah, I like the fact that she's staying confident too in her shot. Missed one from a similar spot in the third quarter, didn't hesitate on that last release.
Jewett, does she have another? She does, this time from the left wing. And UCF continuing to shoot the ball from outside at a high clip. Their sixth three-pointer here of the contest.
Well, the Cyclones in their 2-3 matchup zone are having trouble when UCF comes off of ball screens of rotating to that next shooter.
Quick reset, here's Ryan. 4 on the shot clock, Ryan comes left. Down in, and not enough real estate. Trying to go low, and a tough pass for Audie Crooks to try to gobble up.
Yeah, well, and that pass has to be in the air, right? Drop a bounce pass off like that to a player the size of Audie Crooks. You gotta put it in the air so she can see it, adjust to it, and then receive the pass and go up and finish. Those low passes like that, they're hard to move and catch for bigger players.
Like the idea, it's just the entry point execution.
Yeah, the execution of the pass. Great idea, though.
Peterson's shot, that partially deflected. There was a pair of Cyclones, and now trying to turn that defense into points. This a look. Bellinger rarely misses. Right up on the top rung is Caitlin Peterson, who does not have double figures here today. Just 7 points on 2 of 5 shooting.
Yeah.
But other people stepping up. Whistle's going to go against Emily Ryan. Entry pass from high atop going down into Akkad. Kayala Ngodu back out onto the floor. She plays with the 3 fouls. Coach Messer elected to really rest her quite a bit there in that second quarter, knowing that we're going to need her here if things are tight in the fourth.
Yeah, with Jayla Kelly also having 4 fouls, you know, you can't have both of those players as Caitlin Peterson rockets the ball into Kayla Ngodu a little too hard. Can't have both those players foul out of this game.
And the tough shot falling to her left. You got to be kidding me. Emily Ryan, body control mid-flight.
To slip through that lane right there.
And that was steal.
The finish was outstanding.
Emily Ryan, a veteran for this Iowa State program, does so many things so well. 14 points here today to get this second appearance.
Yeah, you see right there, just cuts in front of Ngodu, splits between Maya Burns as well for the nifty finish.
Wanted to go for the pass initially.
Yeah, but to have the wherewithal to change from pass to shot, it's not necessarily how you want to do it routinely, but sometimes that's how it works out.
And there's the 4th foul by Ngodu. Trying to muscle with Crooks. And as soon as she comes in, hasn't been on the floor more than 60 seconds. Coach Messer going to go to her bench. See assistant coach Mike Carey on that sideline as well. And out will come Ngodu.
And now if you're Iowa State, you have to go inside with this basketball. Taylor Gibson is matched up with Audie Crooks. You got to take advantage of this matchup.
Crooks on the spin, draws the foul, cannot get it to fall, however.
You know, Taylor Gibson's more of a forward, power forward position-ish for the Knights. Not really the player that Coach Satia Messer wants matched up for any extended period of time for UCF. So Iowa State has to be very aware and make it a point to go inside with the basketball right now.
You got to feed the mismatch. And then it falls for Crooks. Iowa State has missed just one free throw on the game. They are 12 of 13. And now Crooks looking to give Iowa State the lead, but not on that free throw.
And now both teams tie ball game, 7 minutes to go. If you're the Knights, continue to be patient offensively, don't rush. And then if you're Iowa State, you gotta go inside with the basketball, play inside out.
14 lead changes on the game. Maya Burns all the way to the tin is able to get past two Cyclone defenders.
And that's the patience that we're talking about, Scott, right? That shot was attempted with 7 left on the shot clock. Stretches that Iowa State defense out, creates driving lanes.
Season high 18 points for the 1,000-point scorer, Maya Burns. A South Carolina product as Crooks with the left hand leaves it short. Burns with the board. Now UCF transition, pulling up, and splash it goes for Layla Jewett. It has been a combination of Jewett and Maya Burns here in this second half, and Bill Fenley.
Jump shot. Maya Burns and Layla Jewett have been the catalyst for the Knights offense here in the second half.
They've combined for 28 points off the curl, the three. Misfiring Bellinger, saving it is Brown, but right into the hands of Peterson. Two women to beat. Peterson able to elevate and put it up off the window. Little kiss.
Yeah. She's so tough in transition when you allow her to get out and run, especially on that right-hand side.
Stop and start, and on the drive, drawing contact, Emily Ryan.
Kaylin Peterson, once she's out in transition, the body control and her ability to get up and use her athleticism to finish is one of the reasons why she's one of the best scorers in this league.
Emily Ryan back to the free throw line. She's been perfect on the game, 7 of 7. As one of the all-time greats, she'll go down in Iowa State history, top 10 in multiple categories. She is the big-time distributor. 5 assists here today as comes off a game in which she would have 14 and capitalizing with free throws as erases UCF's largest lead, which was at 6 points. Robinson Nuwagu on the baseline, count the bucket, the hoop, the harm, and contact. Robinson Nuwagu finishes.
It's so hard to defend the skip pass. Puts Addie Brown in a tough spot, and then Robinson Nuwagu just able to finish through the bump, drawing the foul and one. But right now, the Knights playing with a little more fight, a little more enthusiasm than the Cyclones.
Three-point play cannot be realized for Robinson Nuwagu. Trying to find Brown, taken away. It's Layla Jewett. Now UCF will quickly set up the offense here in the half court.
Yeah. And once again, the key word, patience and poise. No need to rush.
Woo, getting into the paint is Layla Jewett. Slashing in, creating her own shot, and then the little teardrop, and a timeout on the floor again from Bill Fenley. Lost a close one earlier this week as the Baylor Bears made their way inside this building. Now the Bill Fenley timeout. What was the message there, BJ, as he tried to corral his ladies?
More resistance on the defensive end. The Knights right now shooting 75% from the field in the second half. It's a good pass from Emily Ryan down to Kelsey Jones, but for the Cyclones, it's going to have to start on this end. UCF has got whatever they wanted here in the second half.
And scoring on the set piece out of the timeout.
Yeah.
Whipping it across. Now Peterson with it.
And the hands have got to be out, got to get more deflections. They're not a team that applies a lot of ball pressure, so they have to be in the right spots.
Here's Peterson, her triple. Rebound Jones. The Knights with just one conference win. This is their inaugural voyage in the Big 12. This could be a huge victory, not just for their psyche, but Also one of the top 4 teams right now, currently in the standings, Iowa State, and the tournament champs from a year ago. Kelsey Jones, too strong, batted around, out to Robinson Nuwagu. We're under 4. And Coach Satia Messer says,
just slow it down.
Slow it down.
Slow it down if you're UCF. You don't want to shoot until the shot clock is 8 or below. Iowa State's not going to apply ball pressure. You see all 5 players inside the 3-point line. And once again, UCF gets the ball to the middle of the floor and is able to convert. And
Burns with a 20-piece as pogoing right after she catches it there in the paint. The offensive prowess here in this second half for UCF continues. And a falling back shot from Addie Brown rims out. Pole position, here comes Peterson. Offensive rebound, Gibson, no, batted out for UCF, yes. Under 3 minutes to play from Orlando. Peterson, triple.
That would have been a knockout punch if Peterson makes that 3.
Second effort, instead puts it on the deck, bounces it into Burns. And then her pass gets knocked down.
Yep, that situation, UCF should have pulled the basketball out, run a little more time off the clock.
And a whistle on Maya Burns, as driving in on that left side was Emily Ryan. And that's the 5th foul here against UCF, so it'll be free throws the rest of the way for Iowa State. Well, Fenley substitutions, a quick maybe breather for Crooks. Into the game comes the senior Dew. And now in the meantime, Emily Ryan to the free throw line.
Well, I think a part of that, Scott, is too, with the Cyclones being down now 7, on a missed shot they have to run. They have to get up and down, and obviously Nightmare Dew, her skill set is more built for
conducive,
that.
right?
Yeah.
Continuing to do a bang-up job from the free throw line. Here on the game is Ryan. 10 for 10. A 6-point UCF advantage. Jewett trying to play the 2-woman game. Gives it over to Maya Burns. Sub-digits, sub-10 seconds here on that shot clock. 4, Peterson. Peterson is able to strike.
And a perfect possession for UCF. Run the shot clock all the way down to 1 and finish with a bucket. Couldn't ask for anything more on that possession at this point in the game.
Offensive rebound playing on. Here's Iowa State. Now a foul on the ground against UCF, Robinson Nuwagu.
And at this point, the shot clock's at 3-2. She attempts the shot at 1. When you're up by 6 with under 2 minutes to go, the most important thing is use the clock and make sure you get a shot up on the rim. The Knights did both on that possession and were able to convert.
Peterson now one of 3 ladies in double figures, and you see the smile right now on Satia Messer's face. Both free throws up and good for Jones. 81 seconds separating UCF from their second Big 12 win and second consecutive at home. And what a way to start the month of February. By the way, BJ, did that groundhog see its shadow yesterday?
I heard he did not. I could have got bad information, but I heard he didn't.
Well, if you live in the Sunshine State, oftentimes that doesn't matter, does it?
Yeah, I've also heard his accuracy is not that great.
Iffy, kind of like a...
Yeah, it's like he...
Yeah, a meteorologist, really, typically like 50%. Peterson trying to find somebody, and a 5-second. No, this is going to be a...
Kyla Nagodu both picking up their play and conference play, and had Kaylin Peterson right under the rim. Just didn't see it.
Catch and fire, Maya Burns. Rebound comes down to Addie Brown. Now Iowa State here, 2-possession basketball game. A lob into Crooks. Crooks easily able to get the feed. Lays it up and in.
And Great feed inside to Crooks, but patient as ever is Coach Finley. Still no pressure. Gonna play out this defensive possession the way they played defense the entire game with their quarter court, man-to-man or matchup zone. I mean, this is rare. You don't get this often. A 4-point game where you're gonna play it out like this.
Shot clock now at 5 for Layla Jewett. The double team comes. Burns gives in to Nagodu, flips it up. Good defense by Crooks. And now the shot clock is off. 4-point game, timeout, Bill Fenley. Let's talk it over.
Yeah.
There are 3 ladies for the Knights in double figures, and now Iowa State out of the timeout.
Let's see if they can get Audie Crooks this ball inside. Gonna go to Addie Brown instead.
And Brown gets past her woman, can't get the lay-in. Offensive board put back, and Crooks will get fouled on the attempt.
Oh, that and one would have been huge, though, if Audie Crooks was able to convert. Outstanding play call from Coach Finley. A little fake handoff with Addie Brown, but boy, if Crooks gets that to go, chance to cut this thing to 1.
Well, now Crooks, a 65% free throw shooter on the season. Iowa State has been flawless from the stripe, but things get a little tighter here, BJ.
Yeah. She doesn't seem like the kind of player to let the pressure get to her, though. You know, the joy, the enthusiasm she plays basketball with, it doesn't really seem to affect her.
Has been one of the top freshmen in the country here in her rookie campaign in Ames. Crooks out, and the rebound for UCF. Now up ahead it goes. Crooks is gonna get called for the foul, trying to slow down Caitlin Peterson.
And just a missed opportunity right there for the Cyclones as Kyala Nagodu secured the rebound. That was the player that Coach Finley would have preferred. The Cyclones put at the foul line over Caitlin Peterson. But it appears actually, that Iowa State has more fouls to get. They're gonna have to foul again.
2 additional fouls, so UCF can look to burn off even more clock. Substitution quickly now here, Ashal Akat, or no. Stia Messer says, let's hold off on that.
And still, that's why fouling sooner in the backcourt would have been even better, because now the Knights are gonna run at least another second off this clock.
And Peterson in the backcourt, she'll shave a couple seconds off. And still one more foul here to give for Bill Fenley's Cyclones.
You have to deny Caitlin Peterson this inbounds pass.
You got to think here, Layla Jewett, Caitlin Peterson, Maya Burns, all of them hovering around 80% on the season. Free throw shooting.
I would let Kyala Nagodu receive this basketball.
Here's Jewett, and Jewett will get fouled. And now we'll toe the line for 2 and try to ice things out and give UCF their second Big 12 victory.
And Layla Jewett shooting 83% from the free throw line this season. This is definitely the player Coach Stia Messer wants at the line.
Jewett, usually the primary ball handler for UCF. First one up and good. She has had a monster second half after scoring just 3 points in the first 20 minutes of basketball. UCF will clear inside the box. Everybody send it back, or jumping back. And Jewett, money in the bank. And a timeout on the floor for Stia Messer. What's the defensive calculation here, BJ, for her ladies?
Don't foul. That's the whole defensive calculation right there, Scott. Do not foul. If you have to inbounds the basketball again, be clean. But up 5 with 7 seconds to go. You don't foul. You don't make any quote-unquote bonehead plays.
First of 2 here today. Drama filled in this one. Looking for some drama. UCF in Oklahoma. Men's basketball in the Big 12 begins Sharply at 4 o'clock, a game you can catch right here on ESPN Plus. Are you going to be able to get maybe a quick bite to eat, catch your breath,
Yeah.
maybe have some hot honey?
Yeah.
You got a second game to call, my brother.
Yeah, well, there's 2 hours in between games, so hopefully I grow a little bit as well in between that intermission, get my height up some.
Statistically speaking,
Still time for me to grow, right?
After the age of 20, you don't usually see a lot of growth spurts.
Well, man, yeah, I'm stuck with what I got.
No, that's my clinical doctor
analysis.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Scott Adams.
Dr. Scott. Now, I'm not a doctor, but I did stay in a Holiday Inn Select last night.
Okay.
It's an old commercial.
Yeah, you really took it back there.
It was a good one, too.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. Out of the timeout from Bill Conley. 7.5 seconds remaining. UCF a 5-point advantage. Crooks extended way high. She'll try the 3. No. A caught rebound. And UCF will run it out. And they will take down the Iowa State Cyclones.